young couple turned up at our church, and they had not been to church ever. And they were in their early 20s, and they said, "We just want to find about God, Jesus, and the Bible." And I said, "Great." So they came regularly, and I met with them, and we read the Bible, and it was great. They came to faith. But then I had to go on long service leave. Just before I went, they said, "Richard, we've been watching some stuff online, some Eastern Orthodox. There's a guy from New York. He's got a lot of answers." And I said, "Oh, that's interesting." Anyway, so they went there apparently while I was away on long service leave. I came back and they were like, "We love Eastern Orthodoxy, Richard. We're leaving your church and we're going there." John actually turned up and met this young couple, and we had a great conversation. We went for about 3 hours, but John was so patient and calm and just helping because John understood the Bible, but also understood a lot of where Eastern Orthodoxy was coming from. He was really able to help them think through, and I came away hugely enlightened and helped. I don't think they were convinced, sadly, so they continued in that. Let me talk to you a bit about John's book. I just read it. It's just a really clear exposition of the gospel, and so at one level, it's just a great book to just be reminded of the wonderful truths of the faith. So many of the key passages, the really important ones, John just unpacks them for you and helps you understand them. But along beside that, John's got multiple quotes from the early church fathers and really showing that the early church fathers believe the same gospel that we do. It's not like they're believing something odd or different. It's the message of Jesus. And as well as that, John's included multiple stories of friends of his, people he knows, who's grown up in Orthodoxy and discovered that sense of peace with God, of assurance that salvation wasn't there in the message that they were taught. And as they sat down with various people and read the scriptures and seen that themselves, was just like, beautiful light and truth and wonder. So I do want to commend John's book to you. It's at one level just a great explanation of gospel, but because he's tapping into the kind of questions that someone from an Orthodox background is naturally going to want to ask and think through, I think be massively helpful to give to.
In Certainty for Life, I explain the gospel without jargon to make it clear to the readers how critical it is that we know where we stand before God and to answer the questions common to those from an Eastern Orthodox background. The primary issue being that of certainty. For, like all of us, Orthodox people need to know, want to know, am I acceptable to God? Why have I certainty for life? It's because whether you know it or not, people of Orthodox background are all around you. They are your hairdressers, though clearly not mine. Your healthcare workers, the parents of your children's friends, their teachers, your next door neighbours. Their names might give them away, but sometimes their names have been changed. They might have gotten married and changed their names, for instance. It could be the special time they celebrate Easter. It's a week later this year, which means we get the chocolate even cheaper. Or the special foods they eat and love to boast about. All these are giveaways that your friend is Orthodox. All of them need to hear the gospel. Certainty for Life explains it for an Orthodox reader. And it will start a gospel conversation with them, or it will continue the one you've already started. Thankfully, God does not give us what we deserve. For what is it we deserve? It is we who have turned our backs on God. What we deserve is contempt, condemnation, and exclusion from God's blessings forever. But praise to our great Heavenly Father, for instead He is kind and merciful and loves us deeply. Rather than give us what we deserve, He offers us forgiveness. He invites us to be restored into His family with all the blessings that includes. He invites us to come home.
My hope is built on